So let's get straight to my tips. So the first one is to find the right time to talk. Now, if you do want to discuss something and sort any problems out, it's not the best thing, for example, to try and talk in the middle of an argument or when you're both really tired. So it's important to put some time aside with no interruptions and already make a commitment that the aim of your talk is to actually find a way to work together and be on the same team and not be against each other. So once you have, a day and a time in mind, you can already kind of prepare yourself mentally as well. The second point is that don't assume that you know everything. Sometimes when we're with our partners for a while, we kind of tend to think, well, I know everything about them. I don't really need to have this talk. But don't go into this conversation that you've already arranged with preconceived ideas. You may think you know everything there is to know, but trust me, you don't. Now, you might have been, as I said, with your partner for many years, but there may be actually things in their past that haven't been discussed before, or things have happened even recently that have caused a change in a person. We all change over time. So when you do get together, really listen to what your partner is saying without interrupting, and don't react badly if you actually hear something that you don't like. It was probably very difficult for your partner maybe to open up about something, and they knew maybe that it would upset you, but try not to react badly. Just try and listen till the end and really take in what the person's saying, because you be surprised. You might learn a lot about your partner that you really didn't know. The third point is to take responsibility for your own part. Now, this one is very important. Resist the temptation to actually explain or justify yourself. Now, I remember that, anytime I tried to do this, our talk would end up in an argument with my husband. So if your partner has some things to say about you, just listen to it. I know it's difficult to kind of hear about your mistakes and things that are maybe getting on your partner's nerves, but if you're going to solve anything, you really do need to listen to their part as well. So be there and understand their point of view rather than trying to show that, you're perfect. And I'll give you an example. Don't you actually like it when someone has enough humility to actually admit their mistakes and say sorry, rather than just find an excuse and justify themselves? And this can go through, with every relationship that you have, maybe with your friends, your work colleagues, your manager, anyone, your employees. When someone actually apologizes about something or admits that they've done something wrong rather than trying to cover up and lie about the mistakes, you respect the person much more. You really do. And I don't think it affects that relationship. I think it enhances that relationship because there's actually more trust there, I believe. The next point is to be patient. So it might take a few conversations to actually solve things. Sometimes, depending on the severity of, how things have gone wrong, it could take several conversations. And over a longer period, maybe you're going to have to bring someone else, like a professional or someone that you trust that, has a good relationship to actually help you out as well. So be patient. It's very, very important. Don't just give up because maybe the first conversation didn't go well, or the second. Keep at it, persevere, because maybe you haven't had these problems all the time. Something has come in and disrupted your relationship, or something has kind of fallen by the wayside. You didn't really maybe take care of your relationship as you should have done. So it will take a bit of time to repair as well. And the fifth point that I'd like to cover is to appreciate the small changes. Now, don't expect your partner or even yourself to change radically overnight and everything, to be really good again. But also don't kind of think that the small changes are insignificant. Maybe for you see a small change in your partner and you think, oh, is that it? Couldn't they've made a bit more effort? Maybe for them that was a huge effort. You don't know. Maybe that took a lot out of them to make that small change, to maybe talk in a different way. I don't know what the change would be, but it might have actually taken a lot for that person to get to that point. So don't kind of belittle them and say, oh, is that it? Be thankful for the small changes, because if you actually encourage that and say, oh, babe, I noticed that you did this and I really liked it. If you actually encourage it, that person, your partner, is going to be more willing to try even harder. But if you kind of shoot them down at the first attempt of any change, then that's not going to actually help your relationship.